and welcome to the Calibrics report. This is Sue and this is me. As you already know, we're filming from two different locations, me from Europe, Sue from Africa. So we are experiencing a little bit of technical glitches. Bear with us, we're trying our best. Thank you for everybody who subscribed to our channel. We're reaching new goals. So before we film this episode, what do we need to remind everybody to do, Sue?
Hi everyone. Well, please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you to everyone who has already done so. We really appreciate it. And drop a comment every now and again. We do appreciate those as well, and we really want to know what you guys think.
Yep, so true. Okay, so we're getting into budgets, and we are committing this episode to budgets because, I don't know if Sue will agree with me, but this is where we see the most problems, right?
Yes, definitely. NPOs or projects being under budgeted for, and then the money runs out. And at the end of the day, the cause suffers the most. So budgeting, it's so important.
Of course, it really is. And you really need to think about your expenses because, as we said in the previous episode, don't under budget, rather over budget, because it doesn't help you to ask for money and ask for funds to achieve something if you don't have any money to actually have the practical outcomes. So we're going to be going through a few things, and the first thing we recommend you to do is to always set up your budget by a line item, even if it's just for you personally in the back end. By line items, we mean cost per unit, per service, per document. Each one broken down separately and set out in the most detailed manner possible. For example, if you're running a mentorship program, you will have 5 mentors. You will pay 500 Rand per day for a 5-day period, and that will give you 12,500. Every expense needs to be set up this way, at least for yourself, so you are sure how the budget is going to run. Sue and I have come up with our own little name, and we like to say this is the PET formula. What do you think of that name, Sue? I think it's rather catchy.
I think it's quite cute because you have to nurture your budget like you would nurture a pet.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So Sue's going to take us through the first part. P is for project development. What do we need to do in terms of a budget for the project development, Sue?
Yes, so project development. This is everything with your project is put in right here. The best way to do this is to work back through your entire proposal and identify everything you offer. Remember, you will need to budget for services and product fees. Everything needs to be included. Slowly and thoroughly work through your proposal and make a list. Then break it down into sub-elements or sub-lists. For example, I am providing coaching sessions. That's your main element. What do you need to include in this? How many coaches do you have? Will you be paying coaches? How do they get to the venue? Do you pay them? Do you need to provide meals? Do you need to pay for flights and ground transport? Do you need to draft the coaching content or pay the coach a drafting fee? Or do you need to print and transport the materials or coaching content? Remember, you need a back-end budget to track your expenses. In other words, tick off the expenses as you incur them to make sure that your costs align throughout the project.
Okay, the next one is expenses. So we had P, project development, thank you, Sue, and then we have E, expenses. Under expenses, you have to list all your expenses. Basics you need to cover to be able to make the project work. Do you need consultants? Do you need to make phone calls? Do you need to travel or incur other costs? Remember, there is an allowance for such expenses. Think of everything from phone calls to data bundles and printing of materials. It may cost you 100 Rand in data for a month, but how long is your project? It can really add up once you start putting the months together. The next one we have is T in our little pet simulation. T is, of course, for travel. I put this separately because this is also where I see the most mistakes and most things that are left out. So, your project may, for example, be based on advocacy, which will mean you need to travel to meet stakeholders, advocate in parliament, etc. How are you going to get there? Do you have the funds to pay for the flights or methods of transportation? Again, consider the basic expense and break it down into smaller parts. For example, you need to fly somewhere. Where do you need to fly to and how often? What will the costs be for the flights? Taking into account small airports and other factors that may make it more expensive than usual for a commercial flight. How do you get from the airport to where you need to be? Do you need to rent a car? Do you need a visa, and what will the visa cost? Do you need to book accommodation? For how many people and how many nights? Do you need to provide meals? Always over budget a little for travel costs because they vary a lot, especially when you're traveling in Africa, which is blatantly expensive. After you have completed your entire budget, be sure to incorporate a 10% administrational cost to cover for any unforeseen challenges or costs you may have. And of course, I know you will agree with me, Sue, unforeseen expenses happen. It's real.
It's Murphy's Law. It will definitely happen, yes. So guys, there you have it. Project development, expenses, and travel. Use those 3 guidelines to create your itemized budget, and always remember to stick to your budget. Be honest and open with yourself and your client or your funder. You need to be on top of your budget.
Cannot agree with you anymore, Sue. So just remember, as always, if you need additional help with budgeting, or if you want to know more, visit us at www.calibrics.com or send us an email at info@calibrics. It's ciao for now. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe.
Bye.